Pose. Hello. Hi, I am Audra. I am alone. So first of all, this video was requested by absolutely no one, so we're going to just have a good time. As usual, a housekeeping, I want to thank every one of my mods. Appreciate y'all for being here. You don't get paid, and I love that you are still here, taking care of business, keeping the trolls at bay, and just generally making the chat a super fun place to be. Also, a huge shout out to my patrons. Welcome, Sherry, and a huge shout out to the channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know I have been way the hell behind the past few months, but I promise I'm going to try to get better. I have a few things that I'm putting together. We have a few episodes of the Getting Down with Audra and Emily coming up. So appreciate each and every one of you, without whom I would not be able to do many of the things that I am doing now. Also, huge shout out to everybody in the live stream right now. I thank you so much for being here. You are greatly appreciated. And a special thank you to all of you watching it on the replay. I know watching live streams on replay is not the easiest thing in the world. So I appreciate y'all for doing so. And that's it. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm super nervous. So first of all, I want to say hi to y'all in the chat. So hi, Sherry. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Judy. Hi, Jennifer. Amanda, hello. Rashida, hi. Felisa, hi. I'm having to kind of drop down a little bit. And hi, Dark Angel. Hi, Rachel. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so I'm stressed and I'm flop sweating as we speak. Also, just a quick note that I am not going to be drinking with a straw. So I am a noisy drinker. If that upsets you, I will tell you when I'm going to take a sip, which is now. So you can I don't know, mute it for a second. I don't know. Hi, Emily. Hi, Gwendolyn. Hi, Harper Biggs. Hi, Bernadette. Oh, Jennifer, that's fine. I wanted to do this earlier in the afternoon because I like to spend time with my mom, and normally we spend more of our Friday together. So this is a mix. I have Dandelion Co. I have the blue on the outside, and through here is Dandelion Co. I don't know the shade name. Then I also have Terra Moons, and I also have Davina. So it's just all of my favorite shimmery shades. And I wanted to do a blue ocean. I was kind of trying to go for an ocean, yes. So I tried to go for that. Drew, you would be surprised by what some people think is noisy. Felisa, chug-a-lug, I don't care. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to, whenever I do some of the solo ones, I have been trying to be cognizant of where everybody is. And so, because I know that it could be very late depending on where you are in the world when I go on my normal ones. Oh, okay. I'm I'm getting weird. Yes, I do try to spend as much time as I possibly can with my mom because, life is just one of those things. You don't get to redo it that you're aware of. So that being the case, I would just much rather do it this way. Okay. I do have a few questions already in here. So I'm going to start from the bottom and go up. And Jennifer, this is your question. The question is, if I'm having a rough day, do I have any go-to things that help me through? Yes. If I'm having a rough day, go-to things that help me through. One is I tend to watch some of my favorite horror films because those tend to make me feel significantly better. I'm just thank you, Aria. But I just tend to watch a lot of horror films that I've seen before and that I enjoy. There's also this super weird one called The Dinner Party, which is just terrible. The premise of the movie is great, but the acting is hot garbage. And there's something about this movie that just I can't not watch it. So whenever I'm feeling really shitty, that helps me to feel better. Definitely pretending that I'm going to organize things, but not organize them. Sometimes that makes me feel better. Like if I make a list, like today I'm going to do this, and then I do none of them. Okay, and then there was a part two to that question, which was, do you prefer slashers or psychological horror? I actually really like both if done well. Like slashers can be fun no matter what, right? But psychological horror can be really, really good if it's done well to where I don't know the outcome already. I hate the ones where I can see the outcome coming and I'm just like, but I like ones like Copycat. Copycat is still one of my favorites, even though it didn't age well. And if you go back and watch it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The way that they treated mental illness and a woman who has been through a horrific ordeal and still standing. Wow, it was rough. You prefer that over people whispering into the mic? Yeah, here's the thing. I don't always like to have a, ooh, Shalar, no, that's a different one. There's one, I know exactly the one that you're talking about where you get unease from start to finish. When like as soon as they get to that house, you feel uneasy. And that is that's the one where the white guy and the black woman, right? He's a white guy and she's a black woman. And then he's like going to see his ex-wife. Yep. That one's different. But there is another one called The Dinner Party, which is, and I think they might both be called The Dinner Party, which is, I think, why that's happening. But the other one, which is how I ended up watching the one I'm talking about, was because I thought it was that one that you're talking about, Shalar. And then I was like, just kidding, I'm not. I actually ended up watching this one, which is, it's just a really weird movie. I can't really explain it. It's very strange. Like, it's really weird. All right. Let's see here. Amanda said, if you like sparkling chromatic eyeshadows, I strongly suggest the Russian brand Tammy Tanuka. Please hold. So let me get a photo. Like, let me get a photo. Tammy Tanuka, because I cannot remember words. I can't remember. Like, I know that about myself, period. I cannot remember, and I don't even bother trying. So, Nancy, I hope the walking is going well. Ooh, you started learning Russian from that site. Cool. Okay, cool. I have a couple more questions that people have already asked, but if you have questions, I'll be like flipping in between. So, yay. I'm going to try to do this. I'm not going to say monthly because I know that would be overly ambitious for me. So I'm just definitely going to say like bi-monthly. I think whenever I drop a Bops and Flops, I'll also do a Q&A. I think that will be better. And I think Bops and Flops is more than likely going to be something that I do bi-monthly because I like to try my products. Ooh, oh no, Emily, hand, don't ruin my life. Don't ruin my life by telling me that, please. All right. The next question I have is, how have you dealt with moving away from content creators you were once close to? Did you leave for your own personal reasons or because of the perception of what your audience may think of you if you still supported that person? No hate with this question. Is just some people will automatically drag others, but you haven't. And I appreciate your classiness as always. Thank you. Some of it was very painful. Some things where there were people that I thought differently of, or creators that I thought or felt a specific way about and thought that we were very close and thought that I knew them as a person. It was very rough. Luckily, I do have really great friends that were there for me throughout this whole thing. I have Emily and Teresa from Teresa is Dead, Lacey from Spooky Lips and Fat Hips has been there. There's a lot of creators, Josh Killer King, who have just been very kind, gracious, helpful. They're always being like very, very, they listen when I'm just bitching. Like, they're also there to support me. For me personally, I don't care. I will definitely say, to answer the second part of it, like, did I leave for my own personal reasons or because of perception? I do not care for perception. Perception, especially with who my friends are, I'm not going to do that. I have some friends like that I know people don't like, but I don't care because I know them. I know who they are. I spend an enormous amount of time talking to them every single day. We talk about our wins and our losses and our hurts and our pains, and we lift one another up. I am not going to not be that person's friend because other people don't like them. That has nothing to do with me, and it shouldn't. If I dislike somebody, it is because I personally do not like them. I can't get on this jump on the train of dislike somebody just because that seems like a really good idea. That's not my style. And I don't care. I'm sorry if you don't want to follow me anymore because I like somebody that you don't like. Cool. Do you. Like, we're all adults. You can do what you want, but I'm not going to hurt my friend just because people don't like them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know them, so you know what they allow you to know, right? Just like every creator. But I know a lot of people in real, actual ways, and I'm just not going to do the thing where it's like, oh, well, everybody's public perception has said this about this person. Now, it's different if the public perception has to do with any of the big ones, right? Transphobia, racism, any of those items. Obviously that's a completely different deal, and I would have to talk to that person first and be like, I don't know what you plan to do to fix the situation, but I'm here to help you in any way that I can. I'm here with resources. But if they still don't want to be a person who's an actual ally and an actual good person, well, then, that's still a personal reason. I'm not going to be your friend because those are not things that I like. I believe in these things. I'm LGBTQI plus. I care for those things. Those things are really important to me. So I'm not going to just continue to be your friend if you don't give a shit, So yeah. Rose, thank you. You enjoyed the video I did with Jen. I love hanging out with Jen. She is an actual gem of a human being. She is so funny. She is gracious and she listens. Like, if y'all knew the amount of times that my friends get weird Marco Polos from me that literally sounds like, Emily can probably back this up, but it literally sounds like sometimes that I started in the middle of a sentence that like I apparently thought that they were a part of. And it's just like, I just started talking and they're like, okay. Oh, it's Felisa. It is Be Eating You. And that is from a movie called Jeepers Creepers, which I know has controversy surrounding it, but I still love the license plate. It's the director, actually. It's really gross, but I still like the movie. I still like the creeper. And so it is what it is. Yeah, opinions aren't real life, and knowing someone's truth is. It really is. I think it can be very, very easy to get caught up in the court of public opinion, right? It can be very, very easy to be like, oh, everybody hates this person, so I should too. And I feel like had I done some of that, there's people that I wouldn't be friends with now. There are people that I wouldn't be friends with had I just listened to the court of public opinion on how they felt about people. Would you say, oh, you don't know my friend, but you don't like them? Okay, get lost then. Hello, and I don't keep toxic jump on the hate bandwagon people in my life. It's funny how judgmental people can be towards content creators. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. When you are a content creator, there's so much that there's a lot that I show, right? But there's a lot of stuff that I don't show. And there's a lot of like me having full on meltdowns and breakdowns and all of it that I just don't really show. And some of it I put on my Patreon, some of it I don't. I think that's kind of why I haven't done more of my personal videos on Patreon, because I have not been in a place to really do that, where I wasn't going to, I felt like I would be emotionally dumping on people. So I just didn't do it. I felt like I'd just be like, everything is, you can't get it together. I hated everything I filmed. I'm exhausted from that. Like, I didn't want to do that. Not like anybody would get mad. I just like that. I couldn't do it. But yeah, that's how I am. Because I think it's very easy for all of us. The bandwagon is very easy to jump onto. And even when I've caught myself jumping onto one, I'm like, please hold while I access my account and see how I feel about said situation. So, all right. I have, how many more questions? I have 1, 2, 3 more questions, and I will be answering yours in between. I have another one that says, just a fun one. If you had $500 to spend on one beauty product, what would it be? Like one beauty product? Like by like what? I'm like, wait, what? Like, is it a product or is it like one product or is it like a type of product and I could just spend $500? Because if I could just spend $500, it would be single shadows, like period. I would just buy single shadows, $500. I'd be buying them from Russia. I would be buying them from Germany. I would buy them from everywhere. I would enjoy that. So I don't know if I answered that question properly. Isabel, yes. It is also valid to stop watching or following a creator if they upset you or didn't represent your values. I'm giving you all that permission in case you need it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. One of the things that I continue to do, like I just recently did it, is I go and I purge my subscriptions all the time. And sometimes it's not even that somebody doesn't fit my values. It's just like, I just don't watch them anymore. And I don't like sitting there being like this dead person on their channel because here's the thing. When you turn on notifications, it's such a stupid backdoor thing, but when you turn on notifications, YouTube sends out the notifications to a percentage of the people who are subscribed and ask for notifications, right? And of those people, if they don't watch the video, then they start like, YouTube stops sending it to as many people. And it like kind of goes back until it's like it's barely getting promoted to anybody. That's the issue with notifications. So I don't want to ruin someone's whole notification deal by being on there and sometimes it's like, I'm just not interested in their content anymore. And that's fine. Like people do that to me too, I'm sure. Amanda. I have several opinions on this. First things first is I think it's just, what I'll say is this. Please try not to beat yourself up if you are a person who once was a Marilyn Manson fan and all of this came out. Everybody's like, yeah, well, if you read Long Hard Road Out of Hell, then you would know he said this, because hindsight is 2020. Seems like such a good plan. Like you sit there being like, hindsight's 2020, hindsight's 2020. But you're beating yourself up for stuff that you thought was just shock rock jock bullshit, because there were so many different bullshit stories. Like this is the same person who we did, in fact, for a long time was going around that was the guy from Wonder Years. So you can't beat yourself up for that. I think many of us just looked at that as just like more of bullshit from him. But I believe the victims. I do believe that the man is an actual monster. And I'm not going to be able to listen to his music anymore. Like I cannot, because like all of the songs now have like a weird undercurrent. And I do believe that somewhere I may have a reels that I have to go find if it has like Marilyn Manson song in it. If it is a reel, then I'm going to have to go find that and take that down, because I can't. And here's the only thing that really bothers me is that when Trent Reznor wouldn't have anything to do with him, I should have known then, but I just didn't. Thank you, Yanni. It's a bunch of shit. Yeah, I'm a person who I believe the victims. I don't think it's a good idea to not believe the victims, because we continuously do this in our society, and that is how these predators are allowed to continue. And I will also say that I don't believe that Evan Rachel Wood has anything to gain from naming him, because she has not named him for several years and has been talking about this since 2016. So this isn't like a new thing, right? And the only reason many of us didn't immediately unfollow or stop listening to Manson at that point in time, my opinion, is specifically because she would not name her abuser. And then I believe Monday she did. And she finally said it was him. Everybody would connect the dots, but since she wasn't naming him, it was hard to be like, well, it is him. But like, we kind of felt like it added up, but at the same time, like, what if it didn't? What if it was like right before? Like, who knows? No, Trent Reznor is not garbage, but Trent Reznor, a long time ago, disassociated himself with Marilyn Manson and basically was just like, the guy's a monster. He's kind of an asshole and I can't deal with him. And here's the thing, for Trent Reznor, who is quite honestly one of the largest assholes when it comes to like music and creativity and all that, for Trent Reznor to be like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with this guy. I should have known then, because I don't even, I mean, I like Nine Inch Nails, right? But like, that's not my shit. Like, there's a few Nine Inch Nails songs where I'm like, yes, but like Nine is not my whole, like Nine isn't my personality. Like, not like when I was, not like in the 90s where Nine was my, Korn was my personality in the 90s. Okay. Yeah. I don't put anything past anyone. I don't believe that, you know, we can, to me, she's been saying this exact same story for coming up on 5 years now. So I do not believe that there's some kind of personal gain. And here's the thing that really bothers me. I'm going to go on a small rant, but here's the thing that really bothers me about whenever a famous man is accused of being a predator or an abuser in any way, shape, or form. What really bothers me as a society and as a whole is how much we turn to, well, what does the person who was accusing have to gain? That rhetoric has to stop, because we are putting this weird onus on like, well, the only reason that this person would be saying this thing is because they have something to gain. And it's like, what? Everything, capitalism doesn't have to rule everything. This is about people's mental health. And so that's why people are doing that. Yeah, Isabel, she had not named him. It seemed very clear that that's who she was talking about, especially with the way that she was discussing everything in the timeline, but she had not actually named him. I believe it was Monday that she finally said, yes, like, this is my accuser. And when she broke that silence, the dam broke, and it looks virtually like everybody he's dated, with the exception of Dita Von Teese. And I have like my own thoughts on that, my own allegedly thoughts, but corroborating the instances. Head Like a Hole is definitely a banger. Yeah, everybody doesn't want clout or money. I feel like it's just like Ali saying, another way to demonize the victims is to say things like, what are they going to gain from doing this? And it's just like, listen, if somebody is actually like, why would she be clout chasing for 5 years? Explain that. You know, T.I., Tiny, all of these situations, it's like, even if there's 30 people who come out with allegations, and let's say 10 of them do lie, there's still 20 people who are telling the truth. Like Sharita even talked about that. There's still 20 people who are telling the truth. So we can't discount the 20 people who experienced this because of the 10 people who didn't. Okay, so I have a less intense question coming up. What's the best thing for my dry ass elbows? There's a Gold Bond lotion that is just amazing. If you can't get the body butter from the Etsy shop, there's a Gold Bond lotion in like a tan, it's a goldeny bottle, like a bronzy bottle, and that is the shit. Oop, let me look. I'm like looking here. It looks like I'm looking under the table for change. Should I move like the way that I have this set up? I'm like, oh, it's because I'm like trying to read y'all's comments. I'm a jackass. Let me just like move. Like, I can actually fix this whole situation if I would stop making things difficult on myself. Hold on. I do this literally every time, and I'm like, Woodra, you can make this easier. It's because I have the mic here, so I'm hoping that the sound is better and it's not. Yes, This mic is courtesy of my patrons and my channel members. Thank you. Do I sound less shitty, or do I sound just like the same shitty, but just not as, without the levels popping as high? The DJ, professional DJ vibes. Yes, I am. DJ Mother Midnight in the house, in his house. Thank you. All right, so I think I have one more of these that somebody like the pre-questions, and then I'm open to all y'all's questions. If I could instantly live in another country without the issues of money, paperwork, language, moving, labor, job, and other logistics, where would I live and why? Without a doubt, hands down, Okinawa, Japan. I grew up there. I loved it there. It's beautiful. It's temperate. Bo would love it. The food is great. The culture is nice. The people are kind. I didn't experience a whole shit ton of racism. I experienced otherness, which is different than racism. So, and that's a thing that people need to understand, especially when we're talking about, different parts of the world. There is an otherness feeling, and then there's also racism, and the two can be the same, but they're not mutually exclusive. They can be two different things. So, wait, hold on. Is T here? What? Oh, hi, T. I'm answering questions. I'm answering questions. So here's the thing. If you ever did decide to go to Okinawa, please remember that Okinawans are not Japanese. They are Okinawan. If you want to be a good person, they are Okinawan. They were annexed. You know how we did Hawaii? Japan did that to Okinawa. So you would love Okinawa. Okinawa, Japan is amazing. So hold on. Here we go. Jessica. I lived there until I was about, I feel like I was almost 11 years old when I came back to the States, and it was like 6 years that I was there. So I spent my formative years growing up there. School was better, significantly better than here. It took months for me to get to a point in class where I hadn't already learned it. I feel like I'm dumber now for that because I was smart and then I came to America. But I'm like, I was smart and then I moved. It's very, very true. That is just very true. Yes. And Okinawa is absolutely, the history there is bar none. It's a very haunted place as well. So if you want to check out some spirits, there's that. I think one of my favorite things is the bamboo would be really tall. We would play in these kind of bamboo tall grass field. But then I started watching horror films and I didn't like it as much. Yeah, I would get made fun of in class. And in fact, the teacher even said to my mom at one point was like, well, today was the first day that she didn't say in Okinawa, because I guess everybody made fun of me. And I was like, yeah, I grew up in a place that was cool. And now I'm in Abilene, Texas, and it sucks. There's nothing good here. There's just dirt and cows and tumbleweeds. Y'all want me to be joyous about this? There's no ocean. I grew up on an island. What are y'all talking about? I did. I grew up military. My mother was in the Air Force. And now my mother still works for the government. But yeah, my mom is kind of an amazing person. And my mother still beats herself up right now, to this day, for getting us for us leaving Okinawa, because she was just I should have stayed. I should have done this, and we would have lived in Hawaii. And I'm like, Mom, please don't. Hi, Diamond Rose. How are you today? Anybody have any more questions? Abilene, Texas, which, by the way, if you listen to April 24th, 1992, April 26th, 1992, there was a riot on the street. Tell me, where were you? Okay, if you listen to that song, very, very end of it, you know, when he's yelling out cities where Brad Knoll was like yelling out cities, if you listen very, very closely, at one point he does in fact say Abilene, Texas, and I'm literally the only person who's heard it. Nobody else hears it. And I'm not wackadoodle. I have a very intense sense of hearing. And I think a lot of people don't hear it because it's like layered under, like over and under beats. So, but anyway, says it. You couldn't imagine living on an island? When am I taking you to dinner? Well, here's the thing. Until, as YouTube is not the source of income currently that I need it to be to pay my bills, I will have to take you to dinner in, say, 2027, if you are available. If you are available in 2027, that is when I will be making enough money on YouTube to take you out to dinner. I do not know. I haven't checked that one out. So I need to go look at that one to find out if that's like something I want to do. My favorite joke. Okay, this is a terrible joke and I don't want to hear any shit. So this duck walks into a bar and he rolls up to the bartender and he's like, "Hey, bartender, you got any bread?" And the bartender's like, "No, I don't got any bread. We serve beer here. Now get out of here." The duck leaves. The next day, the bartender comes in and goes, "Hey, bartender, you got any bread?" And the bartender's like, "No, I told you, fucking duck, we don't serve bread here. This is a bar. If you come in here one more time, I'm going to nail your fucking feet to the floor." So the duck leaves. The next day, the duck comes in and he goes, "Hey, bartender, you got any nails?" Bartender goes, "No." And the duck goes, "You got any bread?" I am a nerd and I love that joke and I don't care. I'm going to get like, I'm about to get ruined by this. Yeah, thank you. I replay it and you'll hear it like way back at the very, very end of it where he's yelling out cities. Hi, Liz. Oh, so we're busy in 2027. We can do 2032. That's fine if I'm still alive. I know people are like, if you're still alive, listen. Who knows what's going to happen by then? Yeah, there's an Italy, Texas. There is a Paris, Texas. There is a Czech population in Texas. Texas is a weird state. Everybody's like getting reservations 2031. Which brand did I ever want to try, but then it turned out that they were sus? I can't think of one off the top of my head. I always feel like there's like, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I think mostly I will try things. Even if I DL try them, I'll try them. Like, I know. I'm looking under the table for change, which is actually me looking. Okay, so y'all like the joke? That's like my words. That is a terrible joke. The duck is in fact from Boston because like that's the only way that a duck would go into a bar is if it's a Boston duck, obviously. Glitter blacks, and that is I need some advice on glitter blacks, and that is like the lemonade stand duck. I don't know if you need advice on glitter, let me know. I can't quite figure that out. Normally I'm good at this game. Yeah, so I did. Okay, listen, I'm glad that y'all like this, like super, like that is one of the lamest jokes The Linda Hallberg. That's it. That's a good one. I wanted to try it, and just as I was about to, it all went. It all went down the drain. The one that gave me the ouchie eyes. Are you talking about? So the UOMA Beauty mascara is amazeballs, and it's like them. And every time somebody puts like these weird oils in them, their mascara specifically, avocado oil. It was horrific. I loved the mascara though, because it gives your like lashes just like this curl and definition. And when I tell you how sad I was that it didn't work for me, like it works for my mom, but it does not work for me. Okay, let me look for my change. You speak the truth. I lived in Amarillo for 2 years as a kid. I refer to it as doing time. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so it was a strange time for me. Yeah, it's just, here's the thing. When you are used to like having bodies of water surround you, there's like a majesty to it almost. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's just like beautiful majesty to it. It's gorgeous. Just being able to get to the water whenever you actually like wanted to get to the water, and just like it never being like freaky deaky cold, which is, I don't like that. I don't want it to be crazy cold, and I don't want it to be crazy hot. And Texas has both of those things, and I hate it. Michelle, our ducks are totally Dixon would be an asshole in a bar. I went to Boston once. I had such a lovely time. I did not want to go to some of the places that we went though, but it was really funny as a Texan going to Boston, because we ordered tea and then they brought hot tea, and then we looked at them like, and then they looked at us like, and then we were like, well, can we have some ice? And then they were like, for what? And we were like, the tea. So that was an odd situation. Oh, you need advice on glitter. What kind of advice on glitter? Like what kind of glitters you should get? I mean, I would say if you're going to play with glitter, I know people have their feelings on ColourPop, but I would definitely say that getting these Glitterly Obsessed from ColourPop are actually very helpful. One, because they come already, like it's already like a chunk of glitter, whatever. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to properly apply it. You can just kind of rub it around and have glitter. And as long as you're kind of doing a quick thing, you have glitter on your face, and in a super fun festival way, because festival season's coming up. And what are we doing? We're not going. We're wearing 2 masks. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, they're having concerts without masks. Okay, anyway. But I like these kind of glitters. I would also say when it comes to washing off glitter, if you do not have a cleansing balm, if you want to wear glitter, you need to get a cleansing balm. And I rarely say that you need to get anything. And it doesn't matter like what brand it's from. You can get a cheap or like an inexpensive cleansing balm, but you need a cleansing balm if you're going to put it on your eyes. And I say this because the second that you try to wash your face, that's how you get the glitter in your eyes. That's my experience. But with a cleansing balm, I just swipe down, which I know. It's like, oh my God, you're making yourself old. I don't give a fuck. I am old. We're going to first start there. I am old. It's fine. Who cares? So I do this maneuver until I feel like all the glitter is off my eyes, and then I rinse my face, and then I go back with another cleansing balm to like get the rest of my face off. But I would not have the confidence right now to really be wearing glitters if I didn't have cleansing balms. Yes, that is a real thing. Texas is I keep saying this because Texas is so big. Texas is a huge state. And so there are pockets all around of varying cultures. Like we have like Dallas has a very large South Asian population. That people just wouldn't realize exists, because all the images, it's very annoying to live in Texas, because every time there's a reality show or a TV show that's depicting Texas, it very rarely encompasses the actual amount of diversity that is here that just gets hidden. So yeah, Texas German is a real thing. Yes, anybody, I tried the Milani one. It set my eyes on fire. It also set Teresa's dead eyes on fire. I have not tried the Danessa eye primer. I believe that the Gerard Cosmetics one, the clean canvas, I believe that it is vegan and cruelty free. So that's the only other one I can speak to. That one, and I have one other one, I just can't remember. Son, who's making that noise? It's gotta be somebody outside. It's gotta be a dog. Okay. But yeah, I don't know for sure. Oh, no plastic near the eyes. Yeah, no, no, no. We're not going. Yeah. Yeah, I am also like, here's the thing, Natasha Denona just isn't my aesthetic, and that's okay. I like, this is the thing that I've had to start doing and like accepting is going, it's just not my aesthetic, and that's all right. Like I know that a lot of people were very excited about their triochrome. It still wasn't my, it was like they were getting close to it, but just the way that single shadows can just like do that, and I can get significantly more of it for like the same amount that I would pay for that Natasha Denona palette with like 3, what they called multi-chromes with 3 of them. Like I could have had just like a plethora. Like I could have 7, I could have 5, depending on the brand. I could have 12. There's a lot, so no. Let me go look for my change. I'm like, let me look for my change into the table. Is Terra Moon good? Yes, I have some Terra Moon that's like kind of right here on top. I also have it in the inner eye corner. Terra Moon is very, very nice. I think it depends on what you're looking for though. Like I have the, is it the Cosmic Chameleons, Emily? Because I feel like that's what I have. Which Hogwarts house am I in? I don't know. Do I have to take the quiz again? Because the last time I took that quiz was like on a FOSS book, and I don't use FOSS book anymore. I don't have a record of that quiz. Could have been Slytherin. I don't know. Yeah, I don't use the tape because like I have old lady lids. So once I started figuring out that if I, instead of doing like the round motions with my hands, yes, I'm doing my nails, I'm like taking them off. So that's a thing. But instead of doing like this, the normal windshield wiper move, I actually just started going, and it just pulled everything directly down and got it like off my eyes. And then I would like rinse and then do it again. Then I just stopped having any issues. Oop, it jumped a lot. Hold on. I need to get some more Terra Moons, actually. Ah, I love y'all. Ulta Matte Eye Primer, get it. Oh no. Thank you, Emily, for being aware of what I have in my collection when I don't. I'm like, Emily, what is it that I have? Here's the thing. You might be right. They are a little too pricey, but the way that they transform a multi-chrome, it's kind of almost worth it. Because like I wouldn't have this like cool ass shift that I'm having if I hadn't have like slapped some of my Terra Moons on top of my Divina, and it just gave me like this extra oomph. So I don't know. Mm. Um, since J.K. Rowling is not a good human. Unfortunately, if you look at the stories, like it becomes more obvious of their leanings if you watch the story. But in this instance, I will enjoy the Harry Potter movies. It's not even a separate the art from the artist situation because I didn't read the books. Oh, what? Yeah, that's right. I didn't read the books. Fuck you all. I don't care. But I didn't read the books, and I watched the movies, and I enjoyed them for what they were. I haven't rewatched it in a really long time. there were a lot of people on that, but like, as awful a human being as they are, I think that you should still be able to enjoy your childhood things regardless. Like, I think you should still be able to enjoy it. It's not even to separate the art from the artist. I think that there are just times when there are things that you enjoyed when you were young or younger, or that had significant meaning for you at the time. And you should still be able to enjoy that, you know? Yeah. Like, if you're talking about the movies, like, I think you should still be able to enjoy that. I think if you didn't catch on to that in the books, that's okay too, because you were probably too young to really catch it at that point in time. Because like, one of my favorite things is the witches, right? Roald Dahl is nightmare of a human being. I'm still going to enjoy the witches. I just am. Like, he's dead, but I'm still going to enjoy it. But I can't really like speak for the books, because I didn't actually like do that. Like a Hufflepuff. Let's see here. T, really? I enjoy doing those just so that I can bitch about how wrong they are and then find out that maybe they're right. But I'm still not going to admit it, because hashtag Taurus energy. So, yeah, them look like some big ass books. That was not really a thing for me. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, is sometimes we forget that there are very many different connections and things like created through art before we knew people were monsters, right? And I think we have to keep that in mind sometimes when you do hear somebody reading it or watching it. I can understand that for you personally, it hits like some very sore spots, but I also understand the fact that like, there are people who that was their first interest in reading, right? And so it's going to hold a soft spot for them, because up until that point, maybe they had difficulties reading, they didn't like reading, they could never find anything that really like intrigued them, and then these books did that for them. So at the time, at the same time, I don't want to destroy someone else's joy in something, even if I think that the creator of the books is a horrible, awful human stain. Even if I think that, I don't want to destroy it for somebody who has strong connections, because we do forget about the emotional ties that people can have to art and media that's created. And so I have to remember that there's like emotional ties that can come with this, and I can't be an asshole to people because they still enjoy said thing, because I have to realize that there's more to it than just like a movie for them. Okay. All right, so next, do I believe in the cancellation of public people? I do not. I believe in holding public people and public figures accountable, but you can't actually cancel a human being, because we're not TV shows. We're humans. I don't think that you can, quote unquote, cancel someone. I think the obsession with wanting someone to fail is why cancellation went poorly and got really ugly. I feel like there were people who so desperately wanted someone to fail for whatever reason that they had. I don't know. I've been there myself. I think if you were at the live, I believe on Tuesday, I talked about it, how it made me a disgusting person. And I think that when you change it, when you move it from cancellation to accountability, for me personally, I think if you're talking about holding someone accountable, you're actually putting the narrative on, we are not talking about destroying you as a human being, because I feel like cancellation very quickly switched from accountability to trying to drag another human being into the dirt and the mud, who have they done shitty things? Yes. But did we focus on those shitty things the way that we needed to? Or did we spend more time talking about their appearance, how they had gained weight? Why couldn't they keep a man or a woman or a person in their life? Yeah, I think that that's why it goes cancellation started to get ugly. And I feel like we do need to hold people accountable. But I also realize that there's going to be a lot of people who don't give a shit. They're just not going to care. They just don't care. And there's multiple layers for why they don't care. There's, like, for instance, Jefferson Starfish. One of the reasons that people didn't care, and the thing that we forgot about, is like, not everybody's into beauty YouTube, right? So they don't all know. Like, people who are buying it and putting it up on their, like, they're just people, like, they like makeup and they play with makeup casually, but they're not like in beauty YouTube, right? So, like, they didn't care. They didn't care about all the things. They don't like, and there's a lot of people who just don't care whatsoever. They're just like, makeup is makeup, and I'm not gonna deal with all this bullshit. But I think we all have our own personal feelings for not liking somebody. Like, there are people I don't like that they're not included. Jefferson Starship is not included in that. But there are people that I don't like. I still wish them the best. I'm like, I hope you do well. I don't like you, but I hope you do well. Like, I do not and will never like you, but I hope you do well. What? Me? I'm such an April Taurus porque mm, some of my favorite books tend to be series. And right now, like, it's been Patricia Briggs for a long time, for a very long time. One of my favorite authors has been Dean Koontz, Christopher Pike. I believe, yeah, those are my favorites. Christopher Pike. Who I loved Christopher Pike. Had this, like, super creepy series, which I was trying to find it again. And I feel like it was like it was, I feel like it was called like The Graduation or something, and it has to do with like life and death, and it's just very, very good. I gotta find it again because that was one of my favorites, and I still read it. I used to read it until I lost the books, but Christopher Pike was one of my favorite authors. Also, the person who wrote the Vampire Diaries, I loved them, like the actual books. I read them before it became this god awful show that is hot trash, but luckily we got the originals out of it, so that works. But currently it's Patricia Briggs is one of my favorite authors. So I'm reading their story. I'm at Storm Cursed, and I got to get the rest of the books, I guess. Bo's Gotcha Day is going to be July 21st. I hadn't decided if I was going to, like, involve y'all, like if y'all cared about, like, his birthday. But it's Gotcha Day, the day that I got him. Like, he's my whole world. So it was, like, such a good time. Let me just Deja picking up my sandwich, double caked and double mass. Okay, let's see here. My favorite thing that Bo Bear does. Okay, there's so many favorite things, but one of my favorite things that he does is when he really, like, after he eats, he likes to snuggle. And it's not like his regular snuggles. Like, after he eats, he has to, like, lay on my chest, and he moves up as close as he can to put his head, like, up here. And he puts his head up here, and then he just goes and then goes to sleep. And that's like like every time he does that, I'm like, my heart. Bo adopted. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, bye, Yanni. Yeah, because I rescued Bo, so I don't know exactly when he was born. He was about a year old when I got him, so I just still assume, like, exactly that. Bo's name is spelled like that. B-O is how his first name is spelled, and his middle name is David. His name is Bo David, as in David Bowie, but I didn't want to have a dog where I was running around yelling, David Bowie, come here. So I named him Bo David. Yeah. That is my dog. I'm like, let me look for some more change. Yeah, so I read a lot as a young adult, and Christopher Pike wrote young adult stories, but they even at that time they seemed like I just remember reading that particular group of stories, and I was like, this. It's I know it's young adult, but it seems like too adult. Yeah, dogs are the best. I don't. What? T. Our similarities are starting to. Yeah. Like I can completely be like, kill all humans. I don't care about them. I don't like them. You know what I mean? And then like a dog comes. Like there are so many people who I don't know their name. And what's annoying, I'm gonna sound like such a bitch when I say this. I find this to be so annoying because like you'll run up on people and be like, "Oh my gosh, what's the dog's name?" And they're like, this is Ernest. And I'm like, "Oh," and they're like, "Well, I'm John, by the way." I'm like, "Whatever. Hi, Ernest. Like, why did you tell me your name, sir? I don't care." Like it's one of those things that genuinely irritates. I'm like, I don't believe I asked you for your name. I asked for your dog's name. If I wanted to know your name, I would have asked. Thank you. Wait. Yeah. Yes. Like that is why um John Wick. There we go. I remember the name. I didn't have to use a sound. Uh, that's why John Wick is such a good story. So I love John Wick. I have 10 more minutes to answer questions if you have any more questions. Yeah, I won't watch that in movies. I really won't. If something is going to happen to the animal, I'm like, no, I'm not watching it. Cody, I almost I love that. I'm the same. Like I only know some of my neighbors via the dog they own. Like those are Millie's parents. um Fave horror movie franchise. I hate that I have to pick. You know, right now I'm gonna go with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's always gonna be Nightmare on Elm Street. It will always be. What brand would I like to collab with if I would be interested in a collab? Um, it depends on what I'm doing. I think like I would like to do one with Drench. I don't know, like it's just I feel like yes. And that would be for an eyeshadow palette. Um, I would like to collab with probably Midas for brushes and or lip. Actually, I would like to collab with them on blushes. Blush for the brown girl. I'd like to collab with them for that. And then House of Uni for lip colors. Hi. Y'all, Meera Beauty is in the house. I have a video featuring the Beijing Baddie palette coming up. I had actually filmed it before and it was just hot garbage, so I had to refilm. I had to refilm a bunch of stuff because it was hot garbage. My sister made me watch A Dog's Purpose and watch me like a vulture for the first years. I do not watch stuff like that, period. Period, point blank. I have not tried Rebel Rouge Labs. I do want to. You can find them on Etsy, I believe, because I've had a few things that I've been eyeing there. So, ooh, you better watch out, Meera, because you might get attacked on. When's the restock? Do I watch true crime anywhere? Ooh, here's the thing. I do. I usually go to bed every night watching Forensic Files. However, there's a couple of narrators who read scary stories that I just listened to a really scary one from Southern Cannibal yesterday, and it was like about like online dating gone bad. No, I would like listen. Also, I do believe it's Jen. Let me go double check because I hate to fuck up everybody's names. Y'all already know how I feel about Slumber Reads, but there is Jensen Horror Narration. Like that's another good one. So, and I just started listening to them, and Mr. Haunted is another one. So they do a between just like horror stories and true crime, or like true tales of horrible and horrific things. So they're all really good channels. Ooh, yay! I found somebody who like so you listen Southern Cannibal too. Do I like cats or just dogs? I like cats. I just prefer having a dog. I had cats growing up. I just prefer dog life. I think part of it is because Bo, even when I'm in my like darkest moments, there's something about taking your dog outside and like watching them explore the world like it's new every time that kind of like lifts your spirits a little bit every time you do it. Movie that absolutely scares the crap out of me and you won't allow in your house: Cape Fear and Deliverance. Those are two movies I will never allow in my home. Deliverance and Cape Fear. Cape Fear, the reason it is so frightening is the lengths to which someone will go to. And Deliverance for many obvious reasons, not just that one scene. I'm like, I'm looking. I have not listened to Swamp Dweller yet. Ooh. Ooh, thank you, Anissa. Hold on. If you love true crime and speak Spanish, I found a new channel called Fleece Fisher. I don't know if I said that right. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not gonna watch any movie where something bad happens to the dog, or like when the dog like teaches us a purpose in life. I'm not gonna watch it. I will not. I refuse. Because like the end of it is always that the dog dies. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. It already breaks my heart when like he lays his like big head on my chest when he does his like after food snuggles. And I think like briefly where I'm like, I don't know what I would do without him. And I know that I'm gonna have to. So like, no, I'm not watching that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So this is, I've had this shirt for years, and it's from like Sugar something. Sourpuss. And I've had this for literal years, and it's my favorite sweatshirt because it has thumb holes like in it. And I'm trying to find more stuff like in this vein. So, yeah. I don't like banjos now. Like, here's the thing. I do like banjos as long as it's not making that like weird banjo creepy music. Because I do listen to some really good bluegrass. Like I like bluegrass. Yeah, listen. There's some specific brands that will actually like, if you will Google thumbhole shirts, you'll find a lot of brands that actually carry thumbhole shirts, like that have the thumbhole. T, I know what you were talking about, and I sob every single time. And it's now that I remember, like now I remember that it's that episode, and I refuse to watch it every time. Every time, I'm like, no. I've accidentally watched it a couple times, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm not doing it again. I remember you. Like that cartoon, like that just, my heart was broken. Yes, Felisa, if you've seen this episode, you will cry. It is the most heartbreaking thing. Like, no, it's very heartbreaking. Oh, I'm sorry, Anissa. Now I'm getting teary thinking about it. So before I start like being a weepy ass bitch, does anybody have any last questions before I run off to take Bo to walk across the street so that he can grab another baseball? Y'all, I am the worst like dog mom, because here's what happens. I always get mad that he can sniff out a baseball every time and he brings it in the house. I don't want him to bring the damn baseball into the house, because every time he brings a baseball into the house, he like makes it all the string. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a baseball without the, but it's all string, right? But also me, be like, don't bring any baseballs into my house. Also me spends like 10 minutes trying to help him like dig up this baseball and like let him like carry. He gets so happy. I have not tried Glam Goth Beauty. I really want to, but I just haven't yet. So that's one of those things where I'm going to have that. Can you get a bow montage? If you want a bow montage, I think that I have on my IG, I have like a My Boy Bow section on my highlights. And you can look at all the things. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I have like a My Boy Bow section on my highlights, and you can, yeah. And it's like a little like love to my baby. In like mostly him sleeping on my face, which he does a lot. It's mostly us. That's one of my favorites, when he gives us snuggle kisses. And then there's that one when he's sleeping on my head. And that one when he's being adorable. And that one when he's scared of balloons. He doesn't like them. And then that's him being snugglies. And then that's him being adorable. And then that's me showing him being adorable. He's so cute. That's him sleeping upside down, which is my favorite thing. I love when he does that. His little feet's in the air. Because listen, when dogs sleep on their back like that, it means they're super duper comfortable. Like with you. Like they trust it. I'm not gonna like mess up his little baby parts, his little soft spots. And then that's him being so cute. He's listening to me watch the double clam. So like I put a lot of his like every time. Did you see this? So yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bow montage in the works. I love him so much. Like, my entire world is like this dog. My entire world is this dog. more bow montage. Yes. Thank you. My son is he's everything to me. I love him. I love him and would die for him, not to be dramatic. I have not seen the You're the Shit palette. So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you all this. To keep myself from buying everything under the sun, one of the super fun things that I do is I don't look at new releases, honestly, until we are talking about new releases. If we're doing new makeup nonsense, bingo, I talk about them. I look at them then. If we're talking about it on one of our live streams, I will do it then. But I try not to look at them, which makes me a terrible beauty YouTuber. But I try not to look at them because I'm like, no, I'll waste my money. I will waste my money. Hi, BB. Hi, yes, I'm getting off. We're going to go. All right. Oh my gosh. Katya, thank you. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Let me, what I'll probably do is like figure out how I can go through. Like, it's not actually that difficult. I can go through and make like a super cute, like, bow story. You already pooped. Now it's just walkity walks time. You over here acting foolish, thumping your tail on the wall. Thumping your tail on the wall. Big boy. One of the worst things anybody ever did was look at Bo and be like, oh, they like held his ears in a funny way. And they're like, oh, I'm just seeing what he'd look like if his ears were clipped. And I was like, get the fuck away from my dog. No. He is a sweet angel baby, and he does not need his ears done like that. It just like, the thing was, it wasn't even like that person was gonna clip them. Like, Bo's my dog, but it was just something about seeing that. No. It hurt my heart. And I was like, no, 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 no. All right, y'all. I'm going to take the big guy off. If you enjoy this, please make sure you give this a thumbs up because like that helps me to know if I should continue doing these like live Q&As. I really do enjoy them. I like hanging out. Like you can have all kinds of questions and I try to answer them as honestly as I can. Yeah, that's it. Thank y'all. I'm going to go. I'm being awkward and weird. So XOXO, got the girl.